The showroom contained nearly $40 million worth of automobiles. Limited production Ferraris sat beneath. 0:077-second spotlights. A row of Lamborghinis stretched along the glass wall overlooking the city. Journalists moved. 0:14 seconds between display vehicles. Investors gathered around presentation tables. 0:19 seconds employees adjusted final details with the nervous precision that accompanied important events. Everything had been planned for months. 0:27 seconds Victoria Sinclair intended this to be the most successful day in the history of Sinclair Automotive. The reason stood at the center of the showroom. 0:37 seconds Lucas Hart, three-time Formula One world champion, one of the most recognizable athletes on the planet, the face of modern motorsport. 0:49 seconds he was arriving in less than 20 minutes. 0:52 seconds media outlets from 6 countries were covering the appearance. Potential investors worth hundreds of millions of 0:59 seconds dollars were already present. Nothing could go wrong. Then a delivery driver walked through the wrong entrance. He 1:071 minute, 7 seconds carried a crate containing a rare performance component requested by the workshop. His jacket was worn. His boots 1:141 minute, 14 seconds carried the marks of years spent working with machinery rather than managing people. He looked entirely out of place among luxury automobiles and designer suits. Victoria noticed him immediately. 1:261 minute, 26 seconds She had spent 15 years building a brand around exclusivity, prestige, and perfection. A man carrying a delivery. 1:341 minute, 34 seconds Crate through the center of her showroom in front of investors and media cameras was exactly the kind of thing she did. 1:411 minute, 41 seconds Not want anyone seeing. The room gradually became quiet. Employees stopped what they were doing. Several. 1:491 minute, 49 seconds Guests turned to watch. Victoria pointed toward the exit and made it very clear that delivery personnel belonged in the 1:561 minute, 56 second service entrance, not the showroom floor. A few people laughed. The driver didn't. He simply nodded once and 2:052 minutes, 5 seconds started walking toward the door. No argument, no explanation, no attempt to defend himself, just quiet acceptance. 2:142 minutes, 14 seconds Then the front entrance opened. The atmosphere changed instantly. Lucas Hart had arrived. Cameras flashed. Guests. 2:232 minutes, 23 seconds moved forward. Employees straightened their posture. The Formula One champion stepped into the showroom and began. 2:302 minutes, 30 seconds greeting investors and executives. Then he stopped completely. His eyes moved across the room and settled on the delivery driver walking toward the exit. 2:402 minutes, 40 seconds For a moment, nobody understood why. 2:432 minutes, 43 seconds Then Lucas changed direction. He walked past the CEO, past the investors, past 2:512 minutes, 51 seconds The executives who had spent months arranging this event. The entire showroom watched. The Formula One champion stopped directly in front of the 2:592 minutes, 59 seconds delivery driver. His expression changed, not recognition, something deeper. 3:053 minutes, 5 seconds Respect, the kind earned across years rather than moments. Then, in a showroom that had gone completely silent, Lucas 123 minutes, 12 seconds extended his hand and smiled. It's been years, sir. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. 3:203 minutes, 20 seconds The CEO stared. The employees stared. 3:2:33 minutes, 23 seconds. The investors stared. Because the man she had just thrown out of her showroom was not a delivery driver who had 3:3:03 minutes, 30 seconds wandered into the wrong room. He was the person who had helped create a Formula One champion. And before this day ended. 393 minutes, 39 seconds. Everyone in that showroom would learn exactly why one of the most famous drivers in the world still called him. 3:4:53 minutes, 45 seconds. Sir. Before we continue, subscribe now and turn on notifications. We bring you a new story every week. 3:5:43 minutes, 54 seconds. Stories about hidden talent, second chances, and the people history almost forgets. 4:0:14 minutes, 1 second. Now, let me take you back 20 years. Back before the championships, before the trophies, before the fame, back to a 4:0:94 minutes, 9 seconds. Small karting track where a young mechanic noticed something nobody else could see. Caleb Foster woke at 5:40. 4:164 minutes, 16 seconds every morning without an alarm. Not because he needed one, because 20 years of early mornings had trained his body to wake before the sun did. 274 minutes, 27 seconds. He started the coffee maker, opened the kitchen window slightly, and began preparing breakfast. Emma's breakfast followed the same pattern every weekday. 4:384 minutes, 38 seconds. Oatmeal, orange juice, 1 banana sliced exactly the way she liked it. She claimed the slices tasted different if 4:474 minutes, 47 seconds. They were cut incorrectly. Caleb had stopped questioning the logic years ago. 4:5:24 minutes, 52 seconds. At 6:15, he knocked twice on her bedroom door. Emma appeared almost immediately, carrying the notebook she took. 5:005 minutes. Everywhere. She had inherited her father's habit of observing everything. Most children noticed what people said. 5:085 minutes, 8 seconds. Emma noticed why they said it. She sat at the kitchen table and opened the notebook before touching her breakfast. 5:155 minutes, 15 seconds. Caleb smiled. The notebook was usually a warning that a difficult question was coming. Sure enough, it arrived before 225 minutes, 22 seconds. The oatmeal was finished. She asked whether he was delivering parts that day. Caleb nodded. There was one. 5:305 minutes, 30 seconds. Delivery to a performance shop on the west side of the city and another to Sinclair Automotive. Emma recognized the 5:375 minutes, 37 seconds name immediately. Everyone did. Sinclair Automotive had become one of the most prestigious luxury dealerships and performance showrooms in the country. 485 minutes, 48 seconds. Exotic cars, celebrity clients, investors, media appearances, the sort of place people. 5:565 minutes, 56 seconds. Talked about as if it existed in a different world. Emma wrote something down. Then she looked up. She asked. 6:046 minutes, 4 seconds. Whether famous people still visited places like that. Caleb said they probably did. The answer seemed to. 6:116 minutes, 11 seconds. Trigger another thought. Emma studied him for a moment. Then she asked why famous people never visited their garage. 6:186 minutes, 18 seconds anymore. The question surprised him. Not because it was unfair, because it was accurate. Years ago, racing drivers had 6:266 minutes, 26 seconds visited regularly. Mechanics, team owners, engineers, people from the motorsport world. Now it was mostly 6:346 minutes, 34 seconds. Local customers, restoration projects, and ordinary repair work. The racing world had moved on. Or at least it 6. 426 minutes, 42 seconds looked that way. Caleb thought carefully before answering. Then he told her that people didn't always stay connected to the places they started. Life moved. 6:526 minutes, 52 seconds careers changed. Responsibilities grew. 6:566 minutes, 56 seconds sometimes distance appeared even when nobody intended it to. Emma seemed unconvinced. She wrote something in her notebook. 7:047 minutes, 4 seconds Caleb noticed but didn't ask. Experience had taught him that Emma revealed information only when she was ready. The drive to school began 20 minutes later. 7:157 minutes, 15 seconds The morning traffic moved slowly through the city. Emma spent most of the journey looking out the window. Then, without 7:237 minutes, 23 seconds warning, she asked another question. She wanted to know whether it bothered him that people forgot things. Caleb glanced. 7:327 minutes, 32 seconds at her. The question felt bigger than the conversation. He thought about it. 7:397 minutes, 39 seconds Then he answered, honestly, people forgetting wasn't the problem. The real problem was forgetting what mattered. 7:477 minutes, 47 seconds Emma asked what that meant. Caleb smiled slightly. He explained that trophies got forgotten, headlines got forgotten, famous names got forgotten. 7:597 minutes, 59 seconds What mattered was whether you helped someone become better than they were before they met you. If that happened, the rest didn't matter very much. Emma immediately wrote the sentence down. 8:118 minutes, 11 seconds That usually meant she intended to remember it. He dropped her at school at 7:25. 8:188 minutes, 18 seconds She disappeared through the front doors, carrying the notebook under one arm. 8:238 minutes, 23 seconds Caleb waited until she was inside before driving away. The garage sat on the edge of the city between an industrial. 8:308 minutes, 30 seconds Warehouse and a small body shop. Nothing about it suggested a connection to professional motorsport. The signs. 8:388 minutes, 38 seconds simply read Foster Restoration and Service. 3 service bays, 1 office. 8:458 minutes, 45 seconds 1 storage building. No luxury branding, no corporate image, just honest work. Inside, however, the 8:538 minutes, 53 seconds history was impossible to miss. Old racing photographs covered one wall. 8:598 minutes, 59 seconds Karting trophies sat on a shelf near the office window. A collection of worn helmets occupied another corner. Most. 9:079 minutes, 7 seconds Customers assumed they belonged to Caleb. They didn't. Almost all of them belonged to someone else. A boy he had. 9:159 minutes, 15 seconds Met 20 years earlier. A boy who had arrived at a local karting track with more talent than resources. A boy nobody expected to become anything special. 9:269 minutes, 26 seconds Caleb walked past the trophies without looking at them. He rarely did. The past had become something he carried rather. 9:349 minutes, 34 seconds Then something he visited. He loaded the day's deliveries into the van. One crate contained specialized suspension. 9:419 minutes, 41 seconds Components. Another held performance parts requested by Sinclair Automotive. 9:479 minutes, 47 seconds He secured both, closed the rear doors, and paused for a moment before climbing into the driver's seat. Sinclair. 9:569 minutes, 56 seconds Automotive. The name brought back memories. Not because of the CEO, not because of the showroom, because of 10:0410 minutes, for seconds the guest arriving there that day. The entire city had been talking about it for weeks. 10:11 minutes, 11 seconds Lucas Hart, three-time Formula One world champion, one of the most famous racing. 10:18 minutes, 18 seconds drivers in the world. Every billboard seemed to mention the event. Every sports channel covered it. Every 10:26 minutes, 26 seconds newspaper ran stories about it. Caleb had seen the advertisements. Then he had gone back to work. Life had taught him. 10:34 minutes, 34 seconds that the people you used to know sometimes became strangers. 10:39 minutes, 39 seconds and the people you helped often belong to the future rather than the past. He started the engine, pulled out onto the 10:47 minutes, 47 seconds road, and drove toward a luxury showroom where he expected nothing unusual to happen. By the end of the day, that assumption would prove completely wrong. 10:57 minutes, 57 seconds 20 years before the championships, before the television interviews, before the sponsorship contracts and private jets, Lucas Hart was just a 14-year-old. 11:0611 minutes, 6 seconds boy standing beside a broken cart. The karting track sat outside the city limits. Nothing about it looked. 11:13 minutes, 13 seconds important. The asphalt was worn. The grandstands were small. The garages were old. Yet, every weekend, it became the 2,111 minutes, 21 second center of hundreds of dreams. Some dreamed of becoming professional drivers. Some dreamed of becoming engineers. 11:30 minutes, 30 seconds most would eventually discover how difficult motorsport really was. Lucas arrived there every Saturday with his 11:38 minutes, 38 seconds mother. They didn't have much money. The cart was old. The engine was older. The 11:45 minutes, 45 seconds tires usually had one race too many on them. Every race weekend began with a calculation. Could they afford the fuel? 11:54 minutes, 54 seconds Could they afford replacement parts if something broke? Could they afford another month of trying? Lucas never. 12:0112 minutes, 1 second complained. He simply drove. And when he drove, something unusual happened. 12:0812 minutes, 8 seconds people noticed. Not because he won every race. He didn't. Not at first. People noticed because he understood things. 12 minutes, 16 seconds that usually took years to learn. Race lines. Braking points, tire management. 12:24 minutes, 24 seconds the tiny details that separated fast drivers from future champions. Most drivers learned those things through 12:30 minutes, 30 seconds experience. Lucas seemed to understand them instinctively. The problem was that talent alone wasn't enough. Talent never. 12:39 minutes, 39 seconds had been. Motorsport was expensive, relentlessly expensive. Every broken component cost money. Every race weekend. 12:48 minutes, 48 seconds cost money. Every step up the ladder cost more money than the step before it. 12:53 minutes, 53 seconds The families with resources survived mistakes. The families without resources often disappeared after one bad season. 13:0113 minutes, 1 second Lucas was dangerously close to becoming one of them. Caleb noticed him during a race weekend in early spring. At the 13:0913 minutes, 9 seconds time, Caleb worked as a kart mechanic and race technician. He spent most weekends helping young drivers keep 13:16 minutes, 16 seconds their equipment running. The pay wasn't impressive. The hours were long. But he loved the work. He loved watching talent. 13:13 minutes, 25 seconds develop. He loved solving problems. Most of all, he loved seeing potential before anyone else recognized it. That Saturday. 3,413 minutes, 34 seconds afternoon, he watched Lucas start near the back of the field after a mechanical issue during qualifying. Most drivers would have spent the race fighting frustration. 13:44 minutes, 44 seconds Lucas spent the race passing people. One by one, patiently, intelligently, he 13:51 minutes, 51 seconds finished third. The result itself wasn't remarkable. The way he achieved it was 5,813 minutes, 58 seconds after the race, Caleb approached him, not with praise, with questions. Why had he chosen a specific line through turn 14:0714 minutes, 7 seconds 6? Why had he waited 3 laps before making a particular pass? Why had he sacrificed speed in one corner to gain 14:14 minutes, 15 seconds speed through another? Most young drivers answered those questions emotionally. Lucas answered them analytically. Like an engineer trapped. 2,414 minutes, 24 seconds inside a teenager's body. Caleb left that conversation thinking the same thing he would think for years afterward. This kid was different. Over. 14:14 minutes, 33 seconds the following months, their paths crossed repeatedly. Caleb began helping occasionally. An engine adjustment here. 14:41 minutes, 41 seconds a setup recommendation there. Nothing major at first. Then Lucas's engine failed during a race weekend. The 4,914 minutes, 49 seconds replacement cost more than his family could afford. Without an engine, the season was over. For most drivers, that would have been the end of the story. 14:58 minutes, 58 seconds for Lucas, it wasn't. Caleb rebuilt the engine himself late nights after work. 15:0315 minutes, 3 seconds no charge, no publicity, no announcement, just because he believed the kid deserved another chance. The 15:10 minutes, 10 seconds next weekend, Lucas won. Not because of the engine, because of the driver. That 15:17 minutes, 17 seconds victory changed everything. A local sponsor took notice. Then another results improved. Opportunities. 15:25 minutes, 25 seconds expanded. Years passed. The relationship evolved. Mechanic became mentor. Mentor. 15:33 minutes, 33 seconds became something closer to family. Caleb taught Lucas about racing. But not just racing. Discipline, preparation, responsibility. 4,315 minutes, 43 seconds the understanding that talent opened doors, but character determined whether you stayed inside. Sometimes the lessons. 15:50 minutes, 50 seconds happened in the garage. Sometimes during long drives home after races. Sometimes after disappointing finishes when Lucas. 15:58 minutes, 58 seconds needed someone to explain that failure was information, not identity. Those lessons stayed. Lucas moved into higher categories. 16:0816 minutes, 8 seconds regional championships, national championships, Formula racing. Each level became more competitive, more 16:16 minutes, 16 seconds demanding, more expensive. Yet somehow he kept moving forward. People started noticing, then they started talking. 16:26 16 minutes, 26 seconds then they started expecting. By 19, Lucas Hart had become one of the most promising young drivers in the country. 16:33 16 minutes, 33 seconds by 21, he was racing internationally. 3,716 minutes, 37 seconds the dream that once seemed impossible was suddenly becoming real. And that was exactly when Caleb's life changed. His 16:45 16 minutes, 45 seconds wife became sick. The diagnosis arrived quickly. The consequences arrived faster. Racing weekends became hospital. 16:54 16 minutes, 54 seconds visits. Engine rebuilds became medical appointments. The future narrowed. Not because he wanted it to, because reality. 17:0317 minutes, 3 seconds left no alternative. Caleb stepped away from motorsport quietly, without announcements, without farewells. There. 17:12 17 minutes, 12 seconds were more important things to do. Lucas understood, at least as much as a young driver chasing a professional career could understand. They promised to stay. 17:21 17 minutes, 21 seconds in touch. Life had other plans. Lucas moved deeper into professional racing. 17:27 17 minutes, 27 seconds. Countries changed, teams changed, schedules became impossible. Years passed, then more years. Eventually, the world learned the name Lucas Hart. 17:38 17 minutes, 38 seconds. Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1. Victories, championships, fame, the boy from the 17:47 17 minutes, 47 seconds. Karting track became one of the most recognizable drivers on the planet. And through all of it, there remained one. 17:54 17 minutes, 54 seconds. Person he never forgot. The mechanic who rebuilt an engine when nobody else would. The mentor who believed before. 18:0218 minutes, 2 seconds. Sponsors believed. The man who taught him that character mattered more than talent. 18:0918 minutes, 9 seconds. The problem was simple. Lucas had no idea where Caleb Foster had gone. For nearly a decade, he had searched. 18:15 18 minutes, 15 seconds. Occasionally. Old racing contacts, former team owners, mutual acquaintances. The trail always ended. 18:24 18 minutes, 24 seconds. The same way. Nothing. The man who helped launch his career had disappeared into ordinary life. At least that was. 18:32 18 minutes, 32 seconds. What Lucas believed. What he didn't know was that less than 24 hours from now. 18:38 18 minutes, 38 seconds. After years of searching, he would finally find him. Not at a racetrack, not at a championship celebration, not. 18:46 18 minutes, 46 seconds. At a Formula 1 event, but standing inside a luxury showroom carrying a parts crate. Seconds after being told to. 18:54 18 minutes, 54 seconds. Leave. Sinclair Automotive had never looked better. The showroom had been transformed for the event. Luxury. 19:0219 minutes, 2 seconds. Vehicles occupied every display platform. A limited production Ferrari sat beneath its own spotlight near the 19:0819 minutes, 8 seconds entrance. A row of performance cars stretched across the center floor. Large digital displays showcased racing. 19:17 19 minutes.